Hi, I'm Harshveer and welcome to my talk. I'm sorry I can't do this in like a presentation style because I can't figure out the tech of how to do it. Clearly, I'm very tech handicapped, and that's why I have a team working for me. Anyway, I'm blabbering because I'm expressing and I am being true to who I am, and I'm being kind of free when I'm expressing, and that's the topic of today's talk: the absurdity of truly free expression. Because let's be honest, if someone's really honest, if someone's really truthful, and if they're really free, in today's world they'll be absurd, they'll be weird, because we don't see that happening around us. And in the talk we'll explore three things. One, why is that the case? Why aren't people truly free when they're expressing? Second, how can you sort of become free while expressing? And third, what happens when you are able to achieve that freedom in your own thought and expression, and how does your expression change? And we'll go through examples and we'll keep it very simple. This is not a scientific theory, this is just like my understanding of expression and sort of art in my time in this world. I'm slightly self-centered that way, and to be honest, who else am I supposed to be centered on if not myself? Okay, so the absurdity of truly free expression. I did a small story. I went to this orphanage once and I asked the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And in fact, you know what, pause this if you're on YouTube or somewhere, take a couple of minutes out, think of what would you have answered when you were a child, and how has that answer changed and evolved now that you're not a child anymore. And that's what we are here to discuss, where your expression of when you were a child has completely changed as and when you grew up, because there were constraints, there were practicality issues, there were sort of, the reality of world caught up to you. In any case, the answer would have changed. You'd have seen a slight shift in the video, and that's also because I moved the camera around, because I'm sort of recording the speech as I have something in the background on my laptop. You can see it over here. And this is me being true again, right? I'm telling you that I'm reading off a presentation that I had made. It's just that I can't show it here because I don't know how to. But yes, back to the children. So the answers they gave were weird, right? Because they're kids. Someone said they want to grow up to be a dog. Someone said they want to grow up to be a Pokemon master. Their friend said they want to grow up to be a Pokemon. Somebody said they want to grow up to be an ink pen. And somebody said they want to grow up to be a helicopter. A kid really said कि मैं बड़ा होकर helicopter बनूंगा, and that's weird. You as a human being can't grow up to be a helicopter. That's just not possible in any rational world. But kids don't know that, or even if they don't, they know they don't care. At least she didn't care. She was like, I want to grow up to be a helicopter, and that's all I care about, and that's my expression, that's my reality, that's my truth, that's the answer to the question that you were asked. And that's the thing. When you're free, when you're honest, sometimes you're absurd. And kids are absurd. We have all experienced that. But why don't we express freely, right? What happens? Why are some people freer than some other people? And as we grow, we become more constrained. There is a concept called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which basically goes like this: that at the bottom of the pyramid of needs, you have your physiological needs, your roti kapda makan, safety, security, food, water, shelter. You need this to survive. To exist even as a single human being, you need all of this. Once you have made sure that you by yourself are alive, you become part of the society, and that's the second tier of the pyramid, where over here you have your psychological needs, the need to be respected, the need to be loved, the need to be wanted, the need to belong, respect from others, and actually with yourself as well, because if others don't respect you, you start losing respect for yourself in a very normal statistical sense. So that's your psychological need. And then at the top is your self-actualization, your spiritual need. What am I here for? What's my purpose? What will happen when I die? Who will cry when I die? That whole book is about that, right? So the idea is that there are different needs that we have in our life, and as and when we start facing those needs, they create stimuli and they create pressure on our thoughts, which are supposed to be free-flowing, and those thoughts are constrained into boxes. Let's tackle the first need, the physiological need. When you're young, that's when it starts, right? You're sort of constrained by your family, your parents, your society. You need them for food and shelter and safety. You have wants and desires, but and as you grow you realize that some of these are impractical. As for instance, I'm a Jain boy. When I used to go to parties and when people used to ask me what's your favorite food, I would say potato chips, because even though I wanted to say cake, I couldn't and I didn't, because mom had told me that some cakes have eggs, and as a Jain boy I shouldn't have eggs. And so when I used to go to my friends' parties, I'd be like, okay, my favorite food is potato chips, even though I really wanted to say cake and I really wanted to have those yummy delicious pastries, but I was like, okay, no potato chips. And that's not just this one answer, right? My expression when I used to draw things in parties, I would never draw omelets, I would never draw chicken. When watching Tom and Jerry, I wouldn't discuss the scenes where something with meat or something with the turkey is happening. When watching movies, when you're a kid, we all know we have seen movies with our parents, and if someone's making out on the screen, there is some tension in the air. So of course, like, you can't truly express. Everyone's seen that you can't truly express who you are at home because of family, religion, society, some way or the other. And not just home, school, office, wherever, right? There are practical constraints on your expression, and that's your physiological need. You need your job, you need your family, you need money. You can't spend all your money on chocolates. Some money has to go to insurance, some money has to go to FDs, some money has to go to rent, because you need ghar, you need health insurance, you need safety, and therefore not all money can be spent shopping. That's your basic physiological need, and that actually affects your expression. And we'll see how. I'll give a very simple example that will sort of capture all of this, but just remember, and I hope you'll agree, because I think we all need food to survive. So you'll agree that the need to have food bounds us. Then there is a psychological need, the need to belong. Again, I'll go back to that Jain boy who was 5 years old and wanted egg and couldn't have. But when I was 15, I was like, hey, listen, I need to be hot, I need to be attractive, I need women to like me, I'm a boy, I need to like have a girlfriend, I need my friends to like me, think I'm cool, to respect me. For that I need to look good, for that I need muscles, for that I need to have protein, and protein comes from egg whites. So hey, egg whites are the best. And suddenly my food of choice became from potato chips to egg whites. My expression changed. Things I would talk about, the things I would joke about, the things I would read, the music I'd listen to, the stories I'd tell, they would all sort of revolve around the idea of the teenage boy which wanted to be attractive and cool and accepted. And therefore everything was modeled around that, because I had a need to be liked by society. That changed my expression. And then I grew up a little more. I was 25 and I realized that, hey, I don't want to be cruel to animals. I want to be green. I want to be environment friendly. I want a better earth. I want a better future for me, and if in case I have kids, at least my brother's kids. So I wanted to go vegan. So again, I was like, I don't want a pastry if there's egg in it. But this time it's not because mummy said don't have eggs. That's already done. I was 15 and I was like, "Okay, mummy, sorry, but I'm gonna have eggs." And now I'm 25 and I'm like, listen, I am saying I don't want eggs because I want to be the kind of person who's sort of environmental conscious. And that changes. I'm not saying that fixed. I'm again not conscious about non-veg anymore. I'm back to eating chicken. But the thing is, when I was 25, I was in that zone. For me, that realization that, hey, listen, that's the person I want to be, changed my expression, changed how I behaved, changed how I consumed, changed how I saw the world. And therefore, if you see different, you express different. And that's when you stop being free. So these were the examples of these three constraints, right? There is this matrix that I have made that I'll share with you on the screen. In fact, you can see it over here. I hope this is legible. Your physiological needs of society are parents, your belongingness, and your spiritual need is your identity. So society puts certain needs on you, which is through your parents or your belongingness or your identity. Then there are certain emotional needs. The physiological need of emotions is basically your wants, right? Your favorite chocolate flavor. That's a need that is driven by taste and your tongue. Approval from society, your credibility, is an emotional need that is sort of driven by your psychological reasons to want to be accepted. And your self-love, right? Your spiritual emotional need is self-love. um, do you even like understand who you are? Do you like yourself? There's a whole matrix, and you can take a screenshot. This will help you sort of break down the different reasons you say what you say and do what you do, and more importantly, don't say what you want to say and don't do what you want to do, and you can put them in this matrix. Now we have understood these stimuli. There are countless of these stimuli that sort of go around our thoughts and constrain them into boxes. What's more important is how you respond to this stimuli. And again, a very simple story. You've got to make the best of the stimuli, right? And how do you do that? First, you rationalize. Your physiological needs are things that sort of, are practical concerns. And you can use your brain to get over them. Simple, if the 5-year-old me would have asked mom, why can't I have eggs? The reasons would have been many, and I could have had a discussion with her. Maybe the 5-year-old child can't, but the 25-year-old me, when I was told by my boss to wear suits and trousers at my job when I was copywriting, I was like, why? Why do I need to? The client doesn't care. You don't care. Then why is it even important? Why can't I show up in t-shirts and shorts? I perform better when I wear that. Now that doesn't apply everywhere. If you're a consultant, you need to wear suits and ties, which I understood when I was consulting, because clients wouldn't take me seriously otherwise. They'd think I'm a schoolboy or a college kid. And a client who's 20 years senior to you in the industry needs to respect you, and the respect comes from sort of the understanding that this person knows the industry as well, or at least close enough as I, a 20-year-old veteran of the industry, would. And accept it or not, in certain industries, that's the norm. And if that's the case, you're supposed to dress like that, because otherwise, how would you be taken seriously? But still, you rationalize, right? You don't have to wear blue. You can wear pink. You can wear pleated or non-pleated pants. You don't have to dress like your client. That's where the rationality starts coming in. You just need to look smart. Smart doesn't have to be a certain way. You can be smart in your own way as long as you're smart. Then you empathize. Take care of your psychological stimuli. Very simple. When I was 15 and I was thinking I need to be hot and hotness means I need to have abs, I was thinking from my own head. I wasn't empathizing with the women I was trying to attract, right? If I had only talked to them, I would have known that looks are not the only thing that matter. As a 15-year-old teenage boy, and I am being very honest, for me looks were the most important thing. But women were slightly more evolved that way. For them, humor, intelligence, smartness, kindness, personality, a lot of things mattered even back then. And I didn't know, because I didn't realize, because I didn't empathize. And I didn't empathize with even myself. Like, I wasn't happy eating just egg whites. I really, really liked fried stuff. I loved chocolates. I like cake. But I was sort of restraining myself from eating everything that I liked, because I wasn't happy with my own body image. I wasn't empathizing with my own self. If I would have simply empathized and realized that, hey, listen, social attractiveness is not as important as how happy my tongue is with the food, I would have actually had a happier teenage. But I was just so bound by the idea of being hot that I restricted myself. And you realize that later when you grow up, that there are some regrets that you have. I sound like an old uncle, but I mean, actually I am. Like, you guys are in college, right? So I am probably like half a generation ahead of you. And then you respond to the existential stimuli using your mind. You realize, like, you sit back, you reflect, you are becoming more mindful, you meditate. That doesn't mean that you sit and say Om. It means that you talk to yourself, you spend time with yourself, you spend time in understanding who you are, what you want from life. What's the kind of world you want to live in? What's the kind of world you want to leave behind? And that's when you can get rid of some spiritual constraints. And let's take a simple story. Let's plan a Goa trip. Just think of the things you would pack, right? Your baggage. That's your physiological need-based constraint. For instance, some people would say I need sunscreen. Some people would say I need books because I like to read by the beach. Some people would say I need cool clothes because I want to go clubbing. Some people will say I need hot sunglasses. Some people will say I need to carry my frisbee, my cricket bat. So that's your baggage, right? Things you think you want on the trip. I'm going to Goa. I should definitely have good clothes, right? So all of this you pack. That's your baggage. Then come your psychological needs, the people you're having and planning the trip with. what do my friends want to do? Someone would want to adventure sports, someone would want to go clubbing, someone would want to just drive around, someone would want to sit by the beach, somebody would want to live in a nice Airbnb, somebody would want to go explore the forest and the waterfalls, someone would just want to live, in a nice resort and enjoy the swimming pool over there. So many people have so many different desires, and because you want to be around friends, you want to be accepted, you make an itinerary that caters to everyone's need. Some of it is yours, but some of it is waste that you'd rather not do, but you still choose to because hey, you want to be with your friends. And then of course there is a constraint of the pictures you take. Is the trip cool? Are we looking good? Are we doing the fun hippie things, or are we doing the mainstream boring touristy things? Because we need to put stories on Instagram, we need to take pictures, we need to make an album, we need to tell our friends about it. The world should know that we are offbeat travelers, and therefore you do certain things you would rather not do just for Instagram's sake, and you drop certain things that you really wanted to do because they are not cool. For instance, you might want to watch Tarak Mehta, but you're like, hey, I'm in Goa. What if somebody, I can't tell somebody that I watched Tarak Mehta in Goa, so you chose not to. But just think about it. Would that be the best trip? Or if you could remove these constraints, for instance, your physical baggage, right? You want to read books, just carry the books. Don't carry the clothes that you don't want to wear, or you will not even wear even in your trip once, just because everyone's carrying them. Wear whatever you want to. Somebody's wearing really nice flowery print shirts. You just want to wear your hostel t-shirt, go wear your hostel t-shirt. It's fine, it's your trip. The friends you go with, the people you travel with, if they don't know and understand and they can't empathize with who you are, you're probably better off planning a trip with somebody else, or at least discussing it with them. Ki, hey, listen, you want to go clubbing, I want to be by the beach, let's go our separate ways, but we are still friends. And that's how you take care of that baggage. And then finally, the Instagram baggage. This is your trip, nobody else should matter. The whole world is just a reflection of who you are. It's just a mirror in front of you. You take away the mirror, the world disappears. So stop holding the mirror in front of you, and then you can see the better side of the world. You enjoy your trip the way you want to, not the way Instagram wants you to, and the trip will be a better trip than you can ever imagine it to be. And that's your expression. That's your true free expression. It could be absurd. You could actually be in Goa, order Domino's and watch Tarak Mehta sitting in your Airbnb. But if that makes you happy, that makes you happy, man. No one has the right to question you. Okay, why did you waste your Goa trip? You did not. You enjoyed it the way you wanted to. And once you realize and accept that, you can truly express freely. My time is up. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and I didn't bore you. And sorry for the presentation, but this is really who I am. Bye-bye.